Hello guys, I wanted to make another series on attachment. Today I want to focus on what is attachment and where does it come from. And you know, as I say, she gets it from her mama. I'm just kidding, but I'm not. So attachment does have to do with how you are able to connect to your primary caregiver. And it starts really early on because when you're a baby, you only have your primary caregiver to connect to. So depending on how you are able to connect to your caregiver, it's what your attachment style is going to be. Your temperament also has a lot to do with it. All right. And as I told you in my previous video, hormones also have a lot to do with it. So it's a good combination of kind of like your temperament, the hormones that are triggered when you're a baby because of how your mom, dad, caregiver was able or not able to give you what you needed, make you feel safe, and connect with you as you dysregulated as a baby. And so this is all these combinations is what makes the attachment style. And so what is the attachment style? As I've told you guys before, the attachment style is the pattern of behavior that we use when we don't feel secure, when we don't feel safe within an interaction, right? So does this mean that a person with a secure attachment style there's going to be a time where they might feel a little insecure? And well, everybody feels a little nervous from time to time, like when you're about to meet a new person, right? Oh wait, I got a tangle here. All right, it's okay. So if you're gonna meet a new person, right, it doesn't matter what attachment style you have, you're gonna get a little nervous, right? Maybe, unless you're a real extrovert, but even then, right? So what about if you walk into a party and you feel a little anxious, but you have a secure attachment, right? What's gonna happen? Well, you're gonna be able to regulate yourself. If the other person's a little anxious, you're probably gonna be able to regulate them as well. All right? And what about if there's an argument between the both of you? What's gonna happen then? Well, you're going to be able to co-regulate and repair. So what is your superpower? Co-regulation and the ability to repair. So what about if you go to the same party, but you have an anxious attachment? Again, like I told you, you're gonna feel a little anxious because everybody feels a little anxious when they're meeting somebody new, right? Just a little bit, I guess, unless you're super extroverted, all right? So what's gonna happen? You're gonna get a little anxious. Your attachment style is just gonna get turned on. You're in the sympathetic now. And so what happens is that you might start talking, not notice that the other person doesn't really want to talk that much or is feeling uncomfortable with your presence. And so you might not notice if the other person is getting a little bit overwhelmed by your just energy. You might talk, and the other person may want to leave, and you might not notice this, all right? And so again, what is your superpower? If you're able to become mindful of yourself, connection. You look for connection. The only thing that you need to do though is be able to kind of know what's going on in your body. So then you can kind of listen to the other person and find that connection that you crave so much. All right. So again, your superpower can be connection if you learn how to regulate yourself. Bye. So what about if you go to that same party and you have a dismissive attachment style, right? Again, just like in the other two scenarios where you have the secure person, the person with a secure attachment or the person with an anxious attachment, you're gonna feel a little anxious, and that will probably turn on the pattern of behavior that is your attachment style, right? So perhaps you're gonna go more into yourself, maybe dissociate a little bit, maybe you just don't want to be cluttered with so many people, maybe you need your space and your independence. If that same person, the anxious person that we talked about before, comes to you and starts yapping and won't stop talking, you might feel really overwhelmed and just want to run away. All right? So what is your superpower? Your superpower, if, again, you're able to be mindful and get to be a little bit comfortable with connection, it will be independence. It'll be facilitating that independence for yourself and others. Again, if you're able to kind of overcome that fear of connection. All right. Okay, so what about if you have a disorganized attachment style, meaning you have trauma that is unresolved, and you go to the same party with these other people, the one that is really anxious and is talking a lot, and the one that doesn't want to do anything with too much stimulation, right? Well, guess what? You are going to feel a little bit overstimulated as well. Because you have unresolved trauma, you'll probably focus on the danger cues. And the more danger cues you see, the more anxious you will become, and your symptoms are more likely to get turned on. So what I need you to do in this moment is realize how safe or unsafe your body is feeling, and give yourself some time to find a safe place, a safe person. If you do that, then you'll be able to regulate, and hopefully that person will be able to regulate you. Don't forget that you are not alone. Thank you.